everybody to WTL. Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I am your host, Andy Klesson, joined by
Jabron.
the Parlay Pounder.
You got it. We're back.
And we got to finish strong. You know we got to do it. We're talking Sweet 16. And once again, the Creighton Blue Jays, they got to be the nightcap.
Yes, they do.
Man, do they know how to finish off a weekend. Double overtime, no sweat, pull away at the end.
Most exciting team in basketball right now, the Creighton Blue Jays.
Yeah, looking pretty sharp, looking pretty good. We've been saying it all season.
We've been saying it all season.
God. And you heard the laughter there. We got Jeremy Odom back in the fold. Jeremy, how we doing?
I'm doing great. We're going to talk Blue Jay basketball, the main event of the round.
That's what I'm saying, the main event once again.
The main event of the Sweet 16.
The other team from Nebraska has to carry the weight of the entire NCAA tournament in the round of 16.
Yep.
But, we'll do what we got to do. I mean, it is the basketball state, Nebraska, right?
Everybody knows it's Nebraska ball.
It goes basketball, volleyball, football. That's what we're known for.
Well, wrestling's in there, I'm sure.
And bowling.
Oh, my God. How could I forget bowling?
Football's out.
Do they play football anymore?
Not at UNO.
Ouch. God, that's painful. But
Thanks, Trev.
Sometimes, right? Yeah. It's definitely Trev's
Trev
fault.
took football with him.
You took it.
It was his last move. He canceled football again.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
The sequel.
Again. Yes, I like that. I didn't even think about that, but it is Trev's fault for sure.
I'm on that bandwagon for sure.
Back to the Sweet 16. We are talking the South Regional matchup, and that is Houston taking on Duke. That is a 7:39 tip-off on CBS. Houston Cougars, they are the 1 seed, and they look like the 1 seed. But the Blue Devils have not disappointed. The 4 seed, hey, they're here, and let's have a look right here at the latest line. Houston, still your 4.5-point favorite. Jabron, where are you at?
Yeah, I still think the Cougars are several steps better than Duke at this point.
Just because they're taller, faster, and shoot better.
Yeah, I like them to cover overall. But Duke's path has looked impressive, but let's not lose the fact with the competition they've played. They got crazy against James Madison and then a double-digit lead on Vermont. So these are double-digit seeds, but it is March Madness. But I do believe that the Texas A&M win that Houston has is a lot better than anything that Duke has put on the table here. I do believe Houston is going to make the Final Four, so I am taking them in this game. I believe 4 points is an easy cover for them.
Yeah, please don't throw any shade at Jeremy's Vermont Catamounts.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're a big Catamount guy over there. So, but I mean, what do you make of this? Houston, I would say only being a 4.5-point favorite. I think Duke's getting a little love here because it's Duke. It's Duke.
I'm going to tell you why. Houston, we have a problem here. Yeah. There's a strong rumor that Coach K is coming out of retirement.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
Work the bench. He is going to not only be on the bench as the main strategist in this game. He's going to be the head coach. He's back at Duke. No, Houston's going to win. It's
he better bring Christian Laettner and Grant Hill with him.
I thought we were going to make up a word like strategery. The Blue Devils going to use some strategery here to try and knock off the Houston Cougars. Now we've been talking about Houston a lot, rightfully so, this entire season. But I don't know if they looked as good as we thought they should have looked during that Big 12 tournament.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, I mean, if there's a reason to maybe think twice here, I think that's it, because I like betting teams that look good in their conference tournament.
Yeah, for sure, Andy. And I think another reason that bettors are going to look to the Duke Blue Devils is that they have a size advantage, but they don't really score all that well at the rim. And I do not think that they exploit their size the way the Aggies did against Houston. So Houston will likely force his game to the perimeter. Duke will need to repeat that 4-28 effort beyond the arc, and I do not think that's likely against this Houston very good defensive team. So I do believe Houston kind of runs them out. I think Duke will have a couple punches in there.
Sure.
But
They're
Houston
a good team.
is the better team overall. It will prevail. they're covering as well.
Yeah, don't hold the Big 12 against Houston in this matchup.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not their fault.
Again, I don't believe that they're in that conference. So
Right. I mean, we're kind of piling on here, but we're not the only ones.
Yeah.
ESPN's analysis point predictors, they got Houston winning a big way. They got them at a 76.5 point percentage to win this game. So win it outright, the money line. You're looking at Houston all the way on some of these, very basic older betting models. But we've seen Duke do this before, whether it's from the 3 seed or the 4 seed.
Hey.
And I believe there's a lot of, I don't want to call it funny money, but you're seeing the Duke Blue Devil hardcore fan base. Just like books have to account for Husker fans, in a big game.
They're all over the place.
Yeah.
There are Duke fans all throughout the nation, and they will bet this game. I know one thing that they will be betting, Andy, and that is the over at 134.
Yeah.
I believe this is actually a very good bet for either side.
Really?
Yes.
What you're doing. Obviously, the attention in the game is rightly focused on Houston's defense, but I do believe that they have enough scores. And then Duke, if this is not a complete total blowout, I believe that this over is low enough that it's going to sneak over that 134 line. So I like the over.
Last time I bet the over was the Creighton game, and I got to say, overtime kind of helped me.
Double overtime.
Double overtime made me feel really good.
Yeah.
That was like a little cherry on top there for me. How about you, Jeremy? What do you think of that total?
No, I love the over. The defense, like you brought up, but they both run.
Yeah, they both
and
run.
I just love their scoring. And yeah, I think this is actually it's one of my favorite bets of Friday's
Let's
games.
go.
Here we go. Okay.
I love that.
Down with the Dukies.
Yes.
All right, so let's move on to the game that we've all been thinking about. A lot of folks around Nebraska have been talking about. That is the number 2 seed, Tennessee Vols, facing off with the 3 seed Creighton Blue Jays. Tennessee is your 2.5 point favorite. So many people around here, right? We're talking about Regency bias, have Creighton taking down the whole tournament. We have a couple of those in our bracket challenge.
No doubt. I'm one of them.
Oh boy! So let's start right there. Tennessee 2.5 point favorite. You're leaning big towards the Blue Jays. Books got it wrong.
Well, I don't know if the books got it wrong, but I love the plus 2.5 towards Creighton. Andy, Creighton is the most experienced team left in the tournament, I believe.
Yeah.
They play the same style they've been playing for years under Greg McDermott. This team shoots a ton of threes. The Volunteers are a defense that gives up a lot of 3 attempts, although they aren't always good looks or whatever. But if you look throughout the Creighton lineup, everyone shoots well, including the 7'1" Ryan Kalkbrenner. Put the game on ice last time.
Yes, he
Hits
did.
over 30% from deep. Very few teams move along the perimeter and pass the ball as well as Creighton. They could be the perfect kryptonite against this stout Tennessee defense.
Yeah, this is where, Tennessee, if they just get sloppy a couple of times on defense and don't stick with everybody on the perimeter, Creighton can capitalize. Jeremy, how are you seeing this one?
I think with Creighton gets bad looks for 3, that's to their advantage.
Yeah. I mean, Baylor can hit them.
Jeez, how many great looks could they get in this last week? But I love Creighton in this. I love the money line plus 125. I think they win the game outright.
That's a good one. Yep.
The big 3 from Creighton has to step up.
No doubt.
They should.
Plus 20, from the big guys. But no, I love Creighton in this. And like you were saying, the matchup fits perfect. If they were going to get a 2 seed and have to go head to head with them, it's Tennessee.
In Tennessee, they rely so much on that Connect kid, averaging 22 points per game. And when you got a horse, you got to ride him.
Right.
But this is where we're talking about Creighton. There are 3 horses. There are 3 leading scorers this season. Were the 3 leading scorers last season that also played in this game last season. And you got to think, I just like how the Creighton Blue Jays, it wasn't easy for them this year.
Yeah.
They came into this season flying high, a top 5, ranked in the top 5, and then the Mountain West, like, oh, hold on.
Yeah, no,
Colorado State and company.
They got humbled real early.
They did.
And were able to peak back up towards the end of the season.
A little bit of grit, and I think
sure.
that's the difference. You guys both talked about the 3-point shooting abilities for the Creighton Blue Jays.
No doubt.
That's like a staple, right, for the Creighton Blue
let it
Jays.
fly.
This year, they can rebound and they can play defense, and I think that's the difference. And I think that's why I like the money line bet here against Tennessee. And also, how's the SEC doing in the tournament?
Very, very
compared to the
well.
Big East, compared to the Big
I think
East.
we
Let's get
already
that jab
covered
in there
that.
one more time. Let's get that jab in there one more time.
No doubt about it. But yeah, Tennessee, very good team. We're not trying to say that, but this might not. this just might not be the matchup for them. I believe it's a bad matchup
Yeah.
for the Volunteers. Creighton won't let them do what they want to on offense and will be a tall task to stop them on offense. This group has one win away from the Final Four last year, and I like them to get back to the Elite Eight. Can I give you my parlay for this game,
Can
Andy?
you give it to me? I'm
Let's
asking
go.
for it.
I got the man, Baylor Shireman. I'm doing a 4-legger single game parlay right here.
Here we go.
Baylor Shireman over 23 points. Baylor Shireman over 5 assists. Baylor Shireman over 9.5 total rebounds. And then Creighton money line. Put that all together, $25 will return you $350.
Jeremy, actually, I'm a big fan of Baylor, and I actually like how you threw that fourth leg in there because if the other three hit, the fourth one's hit for sure. You might as well just throw that one in there.
You might as well throw it on.
Folks, that's why they call him the
Let's go.
Pounder. Jeremy, what is your...
Shireman special.
The Shireman special.
Holy cow.
Sounds like the local steakhouse.
Yeah.
special, you know?
Yeah.
You got like a Neil deal with him?
Yeah, I should.
You have to, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
he has NIL with us.
I
Yeah.
know he
right,
does.
right. Well, not yet. That would get him in trouble. Talking,
Never mind. Cut that out.
Right. Cut that.
he's not Shohei Ohtani
No,
with
he's
this
not.
thing. Jeremy, what are your initial thoughts on that in all seriousness?
No, I love it. And if Creighton's going to win, Baylor's going to be a huge factor
Yeah.
in that, right?
Yes.
And I don't know, man, he's just a complete player.
He really
And
is.
He really has impressed this year. And I love everything he did in the summer. He knew what he needed to work on,
Yep.
and he has stepped up as the leader of the Creighton Blue Jays.
All-American.
Yeah, he's an All-American, and he's kind of the ringleader of a team of stars.
Yes, no doubt.
You know,
Yes.
and what there's the horn, so that means we're up against it. But what I really like about Baylor Shireman's game, and you saw it in that overtime game, when the game's on the line, he is looking for the ball.
Yeah,
he doesn't
absolutely.
get lost, and you could just tell the offense kind of went
He's
stagnant.
going to grab it towards him.
And he went and knocked down not only that little fadeaway shot that everyone wants to talk about. How about when the shot clock was winding down? It looked like he was going to have to heave up a three. Instead, he found Cockbrenner under the rim.
basket.
Speaks to the versatility.
Yeah, his passing, man. He's so brave. I love it.
Yep.
Still one of the best high school quarterbacks I've ever seen.
Woo!
Broadcasting the game. Shout out Nebraska high school football.
Let's go.
Well, you heard the horn. That means we got to wrap it up. So that'll about do it for us this week. Be sure to follow us, folks, on ESPN Tri-City Radio, our Twitter account, and please, if you haven't done so already, our YouTube channel. We're doing daily short videos, feature-length videos, everything else. And Jabron, you got something going on over at TikTok, don't you?
Yeah, for sure. Daily picks over on TikTok at WTL Sports Betting. Just search for us. We do got parlays and single game parlays on primetime matchups. Follow us.
And Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us once again. You have a chart-topping podcast.
Yes.
Laugh with me. Where can folks find that?
Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on YouTube.
And they can find you at J.O. from Omaha on
From
Twitter.
Nebraska.
From Nebraska.
I live in
That
Omaha.
that is right. J.O. from Nebraska. I
J.O.
got it
from
here.
Nebraska.
I wish I could read. It would really help me in doing this game.
In this racket.
All right, for Jabron, Jeremy, and myself, Andy Klassen, thank you for listening. This has been WTL.